Hello graduates! It's Stella from Meeple University, and this is Stella's short and sweet preview for Horror on the Orient Express from Chaosium. Something weird is happening on this train. I was trying to get some sleep in the first class cabins when I saw a strange purple glow from behind the curtains. In the second class cabins, there was a bed in the corner, and the gentleman in the room didn't seem to be moving very much. Then, when I came here, 2 passengers were in the corner panicking. I'm heading now to the locomotive to ask the engineer what's going on. The Dreamlands. This is worse than I thought. There are cultists on this train. Time to investigate. The game plays 1 to 4 players with mechanics such as cooperative play, action retrieval, and puzzle deduction. The game is of heavy complexity. In Horror on the Orient Express, players are investigators riding the famous train when suddenly they are transported to the Dreamlands. All horror breaks loose as the train and other passengers are subject to cultists, evil rituals, monsters attacks, and even vampire. The investigators must now work to uncover the cultists to ensure the train arrives safely at its destination. The train has 6 cars and a locomotive. It has general passengers, represented by dice with different moods. It has the player's investigators, ooh, that's me, represented by minis. And it has 6 suspects, also represented by minis, and their own cards. It's these suspects who are the potential cultists. On your turn, in any order, you may take up to 2 basic actions, spending a stamina for each. And you take 1 main action, moving a cube to its slot. Cubes block actions for future turns until you choose to rest as your main action. This lets you upgrade other actions, refreshes your cubes, and replenishes your stamina. After your actions, draw an event token, then advance the train. This is where the game is going to hinder your efforts. So let's look at how all of the bad events can happen, count the different ways to lose, and see what types of actions you can take to deal with them. There are monsters running or flying alongside the train who may attack the adjacent cars. Their attacks may drive the investigators insane. They may drive the passengers insane, or wound them, or even kill them. So bad. If any investigator runs out of sanity, all players lose. And if 7 passengers are killed, the players lose. So you carry 7 coffins on the train just in case?
Oh yes, since the Ratchet affair, you'd be surprised how often they're needed.
To deal with the monsters, players can attack them from adjacent car, perhaps removing them outright, banishing them temporarily to limbo, or pushing them until they fall behind the back of the train. As the train advances through the Dreamlands, it reveals portals charged with essence which make them active. The more insane passengers there are on the train, the more essence is placed. Active portals cause their rituals effects to resolve or bring forth more monsters. Oh no, it's about to open. I better move to the next car. Phew, safe. For now. The players lose if the essence pool is ever empty, or if the monster pool is ever empty. So players will try to take actions which return essence to the pool and deactivate the portals, or bring passengers back to sanity. Moko! We gotta go faster to outrun these monsters. Players can head to the locomotive to change the train's speed. Travel faster, and there will be fewer turns in the game, making it easier to survive to the destination. It will also be easier to push the monsters behind the train, since they always fall at least as far as the train speed. But faster also means fewer turns to investigate and identify the cultists. So it's a double-edged sword. Meanwhile, monsters and cultists might act to slow the train down, and If the train ever stops, then it is stranded forever in the Dreamlands and the players lose. On top of all this are others who sow the seeds of chaos. The cultists will perform terrifying rituals which get worse as the game progresses, some of which have their own loose conditions. There's a vampire hanging around the outside of the train who launches increasingly deadly attacks on passengers! And sometimes the increasingly panicked passengers simply cause revolts and chaos of their own will. To win the game, the investigators need to correctly identify all cultists amongst the suspects. Suspects have a random mix of clues, and your scenario's set of logic rules will dictate what those clues mean. Here, for example, the cultists are the suspect with the blood red vest, and any who have 4 or more purple clues, and any with these specific combinations of clues. So you don't even know how many cultists there'll be until you finish investigating. Talking to passengers is the main way to gain information. Draw tiles from the bag, trying to score pairs of icons to flip clues. But be careful. If you draw a matching pair of these split tiles, your talk busts and you get nothing. Nada. There's also more you can do with these suspects than just investigating them. Earn favors to use their special actions. Talk to them about their revealed clues for small bonuses. So, what's with the talking parrot?
Shut up! Throw one random occult spell! Learn it, idiot! Learn it!
Thank you? Stupid parrot. Help them achieve their desires. These can give you a handy reward. But be wary. Help a cultist and they'll bring down misery in return. Also, once you know for sure that a suspect is a cultist, you can shove them off the train. You don't need to do this to win, but it's fun and it weakens the ritual. Once the train reaches the end of the track, it's time to guess which suspects are cultists and which are not. Get a single answer wrong and you'll lose. Get all the answers correct and the cultists are arrested, banished. The passengers, a little worse for wear, arrive at their destination and the players win. So many evil forces working against you and so many priorities to balance. Many things are situational. You don't want passengers to be insane, wounded or panicked, but sometimes you have to balance and rearrange them for lowest risk. For example, right now, the insane passenger is safer next to the vampire and the wounded passenger is safer next to the monster. So you can take actions to swap them around. The game goes to great lengths to feel immersive and thematic, right down to the curtains on the windows, which are as cute as they are relevant to gameplay. Open them and the passengers are at higher risk of being driven insane by the monsters and horrors outside. But some of your strongest actions need that line of sight to work. Close them and the vampire's attack are more deadly in the shadows. Like many games set in the Cthulhu mythos, players can also themselves dip into the occult, learning and casting powerful spells, but risking their own sanity in the process. The game is a big partnership, bringing together Chaosium Epic 1991 Horror on the Orient Express campaign for the Call of Cthulhu tabletop RPG, with the designer Adam and Goop, who brought us some of recent years' great immersive Euro crossover games, including Nemesis, Frostpunk, and Destinies. So, thanks for watching, folks. Check out Horror on the Orient Express, the board game project page. I'll put the link in the description below. The components featured in this video are prototype, so rules and artwork are not final. You would help us by like the video, subscribe and hit the bell, and comments below if you want me to make more of these videos or if you have any questions. I also share my board games journey on Instagram and my board games parody. Hopefully I will see you there too. See you next time.